I am now going to be talking about the lesson 8, or test 8, I should say. Well, lesson 8. It's a page of 125 questions. And I've already done 1 through 7, and number 6 was actually the hardest one, actually. This is you could take the test on examcompass.com. This is Tech Slap. I'm here to slap some information into your face. So let's get started. Oh, thanks for coming to the channel. So basically, I studied all of this, the 22011, studied all of this until I got really good at it. And then I took this exam here, and then there was another exam here, or this one, I think, I don't know. But it's I passed it, and now I'm on this part 2 of the A+ certification. As you can see, I did 1 through 8 already. I'm ready to do number 9, I believe. Let's see. No, I'm on test number 8. Okay, I did 6 and 7 today. Alright, let's do test number 8. It says, which of the following are examples of hardware tokens? Well, select 2 answers, right? It says cable lock, no. Key fob, yes. Passphrase, no. Smart card, yes. Passphrase is just a password that you type in. Cable lock, to me, it sounds like a bike cable that you lock a bike up with, and then the biometric reader is just says your eyeballs, your fingers, or whatever, but they want tokens. It's like 2. Next, if an application written for an earlier version of Microsoft Windows doesn't run correctly, the operating system can emulate its own older version to allow a given program to work with newer hardware or software. The compatibility mode settings in Windows 10 can be changed manually by right-clicking on the program icon and, I believe, selecting compatibility mode from the pop-up. Let's see, if I right-click on Notepad, I don't see it. Wait. Can be changed manually or right-clicking on the program icon. The answer is no. There's troubleshoot compatibility. Properties menu, that probably sounds right. Let's see. Yep. And for example, let's say I have this here. Crap. I have not. Anywho, can y'all see that? Huh. Well, anyways, yeah, you right click, and you go to properties, and then applying acquire settings on the computer capability tab. That's where you go. Which of the answers listed below refers to a type of file containing an exact copy of the contents of optical disc? You know what? Reading and doing this at the same time is actually quite hard. Which of the answers listed below refers to a type of file containing an exact copy? It's an image, a snapshot file. Could be a ISO image. Usually ISO image, you can, but you have to create your own ISO image and then save it as an ISO image. There's a shadow copy. Type of file containing the exact copy of the contents. Well, you could take a snapshot if you're running VMs. ISO, you could do it, but then you have to like save it as an image. And if you ever have issues, you can just reinstall it. But I'm thinking they're wanting shadow copy, maybe? That sounds like the simplest way, because they're not talking about VM, so snapshot's out of the question. ISO, I'm guessing they're just thinking of it as a Windows 10, 7, stuff like that. So I'm just going to go with shadow copy, see what that happens. See, learning with TechSlap. I'm learning too. Which of the following answers refers to application distribution methods? Distribution. All the above. Network downloads. Yes. Yes. All of the above. You could distribute ISO images. You could distribute ISOs or applications on the network. Same thing with the USB, optical, so all the above. All the statements listed below describe the characteristic features of open source applications and OSs. Oh, which statement listed below describes the characteristic features of open source applications? If it's open source, choose two answers. It's free to access. Free access to the application code. Permission to use the application only under circumstances. Permission to modify and redistribute the application. Because their open source is free. You could download it. You have access to code and everything else. It's not like Windows where you have to pay for it and they block all the code so you can't manipulate it and make it the way you want, because they don't want you having a calling in and say, hey, I got computer issues. Which of the following are not examples of proprietary software? Proprietary means software that can only run on certain applications. There's Microsoft applications that only works on Microsoft. There's Apple applications that only works on Apple. But then there's but they're so intertwined, kind of like iTunes, for example. It can run on both. It just depends. Are not examples of proprietary software. Well, the Mac OS and iOS are the same damn thing. Except that's the cell phone version, I guess. Microsoft Windows, Linux, and Android. I'm going to say Linux is not proprietary and Android. I'm just going to go with that. Which of the answers listed below refers to characteristics of Mac? Developed by Microsoft. That's the answer. Not design for tablets. Developed by Apple. Designed for laptops. Developed by Google. Designed for desktops. Click. Which of the name of a lightweight operating system designed by Google for small factor PCs, laptops, tablets, and whatever? That would be the Android. Chrome OS. Crow OS. You know what? It's Google, because Google makes Chrome. Google Chrome. Which of the following answers refers to an OS that uses web browser as its main user interface? Chrome OS, definitely. They use a web browser. Browse your information, browse your intellects, and browse your bank information. They want to browse all of you. Which of the answers listed below refer to the characteristics of an iPad iOS? Developed by Apple? Come on, select it. No. What's this? Select two. I'll just say tablets and Apple. An Apple proprietary OS designed for tablets, smartphones, and mobile devices is called the iOS. Yes, because Mac OS is computers. Don't ask me why they don't just keep the same name and say, hey, I'm Apple. Not say, hey, I'm Mini Apple, I'm Big Apple, I'm Fat Apple, I'm Juicy Apple. Just freaking Apple. Which of the following answers refers to an open source mobile operating system designed by Google? Open source mobile OS designed by Google for smartphones. I don't think Chrome is open source, but I know Android's open source. But I don't think Android developed Chrome. Let me Google that up. Sure, let's Google it up. Let's see. Google. I'll say Google OS. Let's see what that is. It's just Chrome OS. Is Chrome OS open source? Well, I don't think. Is Chrome OS open source? The answer goes back to Spotify. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Is Google Chrome OS open source? Yes. Who made Android then? Who made Android OS? Well, Andy, Rich, and Nick. Android is developed by a consortium of developers known as the Open Handset Alliance. Technically, what that means is it's not made by Google. The Windows is not by Google, and iOS is not made by Google. I had no idea that Chrome OS was open source, though. That's interesting. Let's see here. I like this. I think. What do y'all think about this beard? Well, anyways, here's here's an example of Workstation OS. Examples of Workstation and OS includes Mac OS, Windows, Linux, okay. Now I'm confused. Okay, hold on. Mac OS versus iOS. Okay. Mac OS is a just like I said, desktop. iOS automatically organizes files a mobile operating system. Haha, I was right. Chrome is a... Can Chrome OS be a workstation? Let's see. Can Chrome OS be a workstation? I really doubt it because it's very, very limited. Well, there's Chrome OS Flex. I want to go with no. It's basically a dumbed down version of an OS. We'll see. Which of the answers listed below refer to OSs used in smartphones? That would be everything that we did not check before. Which of the following answers to a file system type specific to Microsoft Windows? Which of the following answers refers to a file system type specific to Microsoft Windows? Select all to apply. NTFS, FAT32, FAT32. EXFAT is for Linux, I believe. The EX14... There is no such thing as ext4. APS is Apple's file system. Hence the APFS. Apple file shit. Apple proprietary fusion soup. Never tell females something. Oh, okay. Well, FAT32 and TFS technically. Extension 3 and Extension 4. I know you can select EXFAT when you try to format a drive on Windows, but they want something specific to Windows. So I'll just stick with those two. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. The 4 gig maximum file size limit and 2 are the characteristics of what? Oh, that is the. Oh, I was going to say 32-bit operating system, but whatever. 2 terabytes. That's key right there. 2 terabytes is key. FAT32 does not support it, so that'll be NTFS. And there doesn't say Linux or anything like that, so you're at the or Apple. So automatically think Windows. NTFS can support both of those. FAT32 can only support I think 500 gigs. I might be wrong, so don't quote me on that. The advantage of NTFS over FAT32: disk quotas. I don't know. Increased file size limit, yes. Compression, yes. Since 2 of them is correct, it's all the above. I don't even need to do all the other ones. Permissions, encryption, are features deployed on NFTS is not available in NFTS. I don't know about disk quotas. I have no idea what those are. Probably. I'm trying different voices. Hopefully that'll work, because I feel like my voice has a fuzzy sound. This way it'll be more clear. Well, let's see. ext3 and 4 are examples of default file systems used by, oh my god. No. I'm going to go with Linux. Can't go wrong with Linux. Because the reason why I say that is because Windows is NTFS and FAT32, correct? Mac is that Apple file shitter file system. The iOS is basically Apple file system. So that leaves Linux, right? Okay, which of the following answers listed below refers to a file system developed by Apple for its operating system? I just said it's Apple's falling syndrome. Next. A Microsoft proprietary file system optimized for flash drives is known as FAT32. Where is it? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, flash drives are FAT32. The reason for that is because you can read the flash drive on the Windows and the Mac operating system. Which of the following terms refers to a product service that no longer receives continuing support? That would be the end of life cycle. It's not end of fever. It's not end reported problem. I don't even know what they mean. I know the end of life. I know that one. End operating. Well, I don't have ERP in my brain, so EOL. Kind of like LOL, but it's EOL. Economically operating laughter. The operating system cross-platform capability features allows certain types of data files created on one type of OS to be seamlessly read and modified on a different OS. An operating system cross-platform capability features allows certain types of data files created on one type to seamlessly read and modify on. Yes. If it's not cross-platform capability, then you'll have to install on Apple. That's Parallels. On Windows, you just install a VM and then install a Mac operating system in the VM, and then boom, both. The modern applications are designed as cross-platform software, which allows all modern applications, which allows them to be run different operating systems without any I'm going to say false. So there's applications that won't run on Windows, but it does Mac, and vice versa. And there's applications on Linux that won't run on Windows. Man, it's a pain in the butt, isn't it? To get Linux, I got a app that's Android to work on Windows, but I had to install some kind of interpreter into Windows to get it working. Which of the OS boot methods listed below takes advantage of network interface? PXE. What they mean, I know it's kind of weird unless you've done it before, but you PXE boot from a computer into a SCCM to download an image, file systems, patches, stuff like that. And they call it PXE booting. Match an OS boot method on the left with the corresponding media type on the right. Optical disk. Optical disk would be a hard drive. Nope, I'd take that back. CD-ROM. Optical disk. Even though a hard drive does have a disk in it, they call it a magnetic disk, not an optical disk, unfortunately. External drive. External drive. Flash drive, I know that one. That's a USB. Network boot. PXE. Internal fixed disk. Hard drive. Internal hard drive. Hard drive? I'm wondering if they're asking about the connection. Because you can use an eSATA for an external drive. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one did I not use? CD-ROM? That would be an optical. Nope, I got that one up there. Was it eSATA? USB, PXE, partition. I'm gonna go with internal hard drive. That's a hard drive. SSD is a internal fixed disk. Oh. Oh. External. No, that's an optical disk, dumbass. Damn it. Okay. Flash drives, USB, optical disk, network boots, PXE. Now the internal drive, external drive would be eSATA drive. I wonder if they're talking about a connection, because eSATA is a connection, type of connection. So internal, well, then that just leaves what? Partition. A partition is, you're partitioning a hard drive to install an operating system. Oh my god, this doesn't make any sense at all. You know what? Screw it. because none of these look like partitioning. It's kind of weird. I never heard of it. Internal fixed disk, internal hard drive. You know what? I'm going to go with fixed disk is a partition. That's the only thing, if you're supposed to use them all up, called, because you can't use the same one twice, right? Well, we'll find out. I never heard of a partition labeled as an internal fixed disk, but let's see how we did. Key fob, smart card. Got that one right. Got that one right. About the earlier versions of Windows can't run correctly. Clicking on the properties menu. Applying the required settings on the compatibility tab. See, right click, properties, compatibility. Which of the answers listed below refers to a type of file containing an exact copy of the contents? Oh my god, dude. Oh shit. I knew you could do that. That's for VMs. Shadow copy is technically the same. It's just a different way of doing it. But the answer was iOS. Refers to a type of file containing an exact copy of the contents of an optical disk. Okay, iOS file. Just optical disk, copy, iOS. Just think of it that way. Which of the following answers refers to application distribution methods? Boom! Which of these statements listed describes the characteristics, features of open source? Free access, permissions to modify. Those are the two things. Permission to modify, free access. Which of the following are not examples of proprietary software? Linux and Android. I thought so. That's because you have access to their code and you can actually change stuff. That's what proprietary means. Which means non-proprietary Linux and Android, you can modify the code. iOS you cannot modify, and Windows you cannot modify. Which of the following answers listed below refers to the characteristics of macOS? Developed for Apple, designed for laptops, and designed for desktops. See, that's a trick one right there. You're like, okay, is it laptops or desktops? You can only choose one. Boom, boom, boom. And you're like, well, dang. And then you get it wrong, right? What is the name of the lightweight operating system designed by Google for small factor PCs? Chrome. So I got that one right. I got the Chrome right for Google's main Google only made Chrome, so you can't really get it wrong. Following answers refers to an OS that uses web browser as its main user interface. Chrome. Which of the following listed below refer to characteristics of iPad? Developed by Apple, designed for tablets. Got this one right. An Apple proprietary OS designed for tablets. iOS is mobile, macOS is desktop. Which of the following answers refers? Ooh, I got one wrong. Second one wrong. Which of the following answers refers to open source mobile OS designed by Google for smartphones? What? Google designed Android? Wait, maybe I'm reading the question wrong. Which of the following answers refers to an open source mobile OS designed by Google? Android. Are you freaking kidding me? I even Googled that up too. And mobile devices. Chrome OS. Designed by Google. Android? What the hell, dude? I'm gonna Google that up. Does Google own Android? Google acquired Android and its key employees in 2005 for at least $50 million. Google marketed the early mobile platform to handset manufacturers and mobile carriers. Okay, this refers to open source mobile OS designed for smartphones and tablets. OS designed by Google for small factor PCs, laptops, tablets, and mobile devices. And there's the Android right there. Now, how in the hell are you supposed to know which one's the right answer when it comes to the damn test? Because if they both developed Android and Chrome, and then Chrome is right on one, but Android's right on the other, what the hell? Okay, so the only way to figure that part out is if it includes laptops and PCs, it's Chrome. If it does not include laptops or PCs and just says smartphones and tablets only, it's Android. It's freaking stupid, man. Examples of workstations OS includes Mac, Windows, Linux. Oh, I thought Chrome was one of it. Chrome OS. Apparently it is. Now we know. Which of the following answers listed below refers to OS used in smartphones and tablets? Chrome OS apparently is one of them. No! It says I got it wrong, actually. iOS, Android, iPadOS. Chrome was one of the answers I selected. Smartphones. Again, smartphones and tablets. It does not mention freaking PCs. And just because it doesn't mention PCs, it's not Chrome OS. So that's the key takeaway in these questions. If it mentions smartphones and tablets but does not include the wording PCs or laptops, don't select Chrome OS. Which of the following answers refers to a file system type specific to Microsoft Windows? NTFS, FAT32. I honestly thought EFAT was, and I didn't select it. Because it's extra fat. That's why I didn't want to. I personally did not want to include the extra fat on my Windows operating system. I like a lean operating system myself. Yeah, cut the extra fat off. You'll be surprised how more fluent an operating system can be. You're gonna learn this. 4 gig max is the size. FAT32? Wait, 4 gig maximum size and 2 terabytes maximum. Oh my god. The FAT32 can actually handle 4 gigs and 2 terabytes? Let me tell you, anything over, when you're dealing with FAT32, it is so freaking slow when you're transferring files from a FAT32. So I would say if you're dealing with 32 format, I'd say stay probably a good reference is below 50 gigs. Because if you're dealing like 2 terabytes worth of information and you're trying to transfer it over a FAT32 file system, good luck, man. You're gonna have like probably 2 days worth of wait. Literally, I think just to transfer over like a gig took like 2 hours, 2 or 4 hours, for me anyway. So I'd say stay below 50 megs. For FAT32? I would say 50 gigs. I would say 20 to 50 gigs is anything over 50 gigs is you're just going to sit there forever and you're going to hate it. Anyways, FAT32 is the maximum for 2 terabytes. I am so surprised that FAT32 can do 2 terabytes. That's freaking weird. The advantages of NTFS over FAT32, all the above. EX3 Linux. What did I tell you? Which of the answers listed below refers to a file system developed by Apple file system, a Microsoft proprietary system optimized for flash drives. EFAT? I guess that makes sense. Okay, EFAT. Extra fat for flash drives. So flash drives add extra fat to your computer system. If you haven't noticed, if you plug a USB stick into a computer, not only does it add a new look, but it also adds weight. What adds weight? Fat. Extra fat. Thumb drives. There's no way you can get that wrong on the test. Extra long life. EOL. End of life. That no longer receives continuing support. True operating system, yes. All modern applications that are designed for cross-platform, no. It's a false statement. Because not all applications are not. Which of the OS boot methods listed below takes advantage of a network interface PXE? Interesting. They were talking about a connection interface. It doesn't say connection interface. It just says external hard drive, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? It could be a hard drive can be an external hard drive. An SSD can be external hard drive. A USB can be an external hard drive. External drive. But apparently I got it right. So eSATA, external, optical, flash drive, network. Here's the two I had the most issues on right there. An internal hard drive is a partition. Really? An internal hard drive is a partition. Okay. I don't understand it myself. An internal fixed disk is a hard drive or SSD. I've never heard of internal fixed disk. fact, you always hear IT people refer to internal hard drives as the hard drive or solid state disk, never as a partition. I never even heard that. Anyways, how did I do? 68. Oh my god, I failed. Okay, cool. This is number 8, right? Practice 8, test 8. So I'll just come down here to where it says 1102. I'll click 8 again, and we'll go through it again. Wonder how long this video is going to be. Which of the following are examples of hardware tokens? Key fob, smart. I don't think I'm going to be reading much on these. I'm just going to go through here and see. The compatibility. I usually go with the last sentence. The compatibility mode setting in Windows 10 can be changed manually by right-clicking the program and selecting Properties. That's it. Properties. End of story. Go ahead. Next, which of the answers listed below refers to a type of file containing an exec copy? We know that one. It's an iOS. Which of the following answers refers to application distribution methods? iOS, all the above. Yep, all the above. Optical, open source, it's free, and permission to modify. Linux and Android are not proprietary. macOS is designed for laptops, not tablets, by Apple and desktops. Lightweight operating system designed by Google. It says PC, remember that PC and laptops is in there, so Chrome. Mac OS uses a Chrome browser, well, uses web browser. iPad OS. Developed by Apple, designed for laptops. Did I say laptops? Tablets. Okay. And Apple proprietary smartphones. Oh, for tablets, smartphones, and mobile devices is iOS. PC and laptops are not listed, so it's Android. Mac, Windows, Linux, and Chrome. Come on, Chrome. Select. Boom. Which of the following? Okay, Chrome. Laptops and computers are not listed, so it's not Chrome. iOS, Android, and iPad OS. Microsoft uses NTFS, FAT32, and extraFAT. FAT32 can handle the 2 terabytes, remember, but good luck on trying to get data off of it. The advantages of, I'll say all the above, because it does encryption, it does object permission, increased file size. NTFS uses smaller blocks, FAT32 uses bigger blocks. That's where the compression comes in. So compression and increased file size limit is technically the same, because you're getting more blocks in the same amount of space, which means more data to be stored. Those are Linux. Extra 3 and Extra 4. I didn't even think Extra 4 was actually a thing, but apparently it is. Which of the answers listed below refers to a file system developed by Apple for its operating system? Apple's file system, or Apple's fucking system. The Microsoft proprietary file system. Flash drives will be, come on, extra fat. Remember, extra fat flash drives makes your computer weigh more. Which of the following terms refers to a product's end of life? True. Cross-platform capability. This one says all modern applications are designed as it, which is false. Not all applications are cross-platformed. The network interface, PXE. And we all know what an optical is. We all know these answers, right? Blu-ray, external hard drive, eSATA, flash drive, USB, network, whatever, PXE, internal fixed drive, hard drive, internal hard drive. It's a partition, which makes no sense. And did we get anything wrong? Nope. And we made 100%. Good luck. That's number test 8 out. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you learned. How do I turn this thing off?